Hey everybody, welcome to a video presented by me, Burnt Toast. This is actually my very first beta video. I played a beta version of a game called Super Dungeon Bros. I played it on my PC through Steam. I was given a beta code from the developers, and I activated it and started playing. And this is just my overall gameplay and just my overall thoughts. And I'm just going to stress this right at the beginning. This was a beta, and I completely understood that the minute I activated the code and started playing. I immediately knew this is beta. It's still in development. I mean, it's being released next month. So I completely understand if there's issues or things that aren't in the game yet that may be in the final release, and that's completely fine with me. This is just my overall feelings and thoughts on this game so far. What I want to touch on first is this game is almost like Gauntlet. It's a dungeon crawler where you're basically you pick a character that you want to be. And I know you can choose from 4 other weapons. 2 of them were available, a sword and a crossbow type weapon. And I know there's a hammer and a staff, and those will probably be released once the full version of the game is out. But we got to use the sword and the crossbow. I really wish we could have used the hammer and the staff just to see what they could do. But you know, no big deal. Basically what this game centers around is you're crawling around in dungeons and you're killing enemies, you're collecting gold, and you're collecting these other things called shards. And as far as I can tell and understand, the shards are what help you level up your character, level up your weapons and stuff like that. And I think there's some other unlockables too, like it looks like so far there's like these record albums. I don't know if that's like soundtracks or if they're just like achievements, and they do actually have in-game achievements that earn you more shards. And there's a bunch of random ones, like there's like one kill 250 enemies and stuff like that. So it's cool that they have those kinds of things, like they have in-game achievements and stuff like that. And I want to touch on the things that I like first, and then I'll kind of get in the cons of, you know, what I feel it's kind of missing and what I feel it could have to maybe improve it, which may come in the final version, or if not, hopefully show up in a patch or something like that. What I liked about this game is it has a really interesting art style that I haven't really seen before. It almost has like a Lego kind of like artistic style to it, and I always like those kind of styles. I think they're kind of cool. They're kind of kidsy and they're fun. And this game is actually seems like it's kind of centered towards like a kids sort of genre game, which isn't bad. There's not quite a lot of games out there that are really kid friendly. And I like this one just because it seems like it's aiming towards like being more like a young kids or teen or like, you know, parents and sibling kind of game. It is a 4-player co-op, and I will tell you this right away. It's better with 4 people. Like going through it by yourself can be interesting, but this is meant to be a 4-person game. Going through it by yourself can be a humongous pain. I mean, it is you can get swamped and surrounded by enemies, and you have to like dodge your way out of the messes that you can get yourself into, and it can be hard, and it's actually quite tough. You know, for a kid style type game that I feel like this is, like again, it's not a bad thing. I actually really like that about this game. It's it can get really tough. There are areas where you can walk into where you're going to get swamped by enemies, and you have to keep constantly rolling away. You do have a limited amount of rolling, which is understandable. It makes it a little more challenging, but it does kind of stink. It's, I think, limited to 3. Be nice if it was limited to maybe 5 or something like that. because I think you'd be able to get yourself out of more scraps if you had at least 5. But you know, that's just me. Anyway, but I do like that they add an evading ability, and they do have a light attack, a heavy attack, and then they have a super. From using the sword, I noticed that the super is the same for everybody. And I don't know if you do online multiplayer, if it will let you only pick one weapon. As far as I can tell, everybody can have almost the same weapon. That's not really a bad thing, though. Because, I mean, it's not like everybody takes away, or, you know, it's not like you're going to have issues with people using the same super, so it's not really that big of a deal to me. I think that's kind of cool that you can use the same weapons. I think that's neat. There is actually one cool factor I will put in here too, is that when you are fighting enemies and you pick up gold with other people in 4-player co-op, you actually share gold. And I actually really like that factor. That was something like in Gauntlet. I mean, I know it was kind of a competition thing, but it always sucked because you could always be like 2,000 gold coins ahead of somebody, or somebody could be like 5,000 gold coins ahead of you, and they keep picking up gold, and it's really kind of a pain because then it's like, well, you know, where's the gold? Where's my gold so I can buy stuff and all that? And I like that fact that they allow you to, or that they share gold in this game. I do really like that. I think it's really neat. Kind of makes it more of like, let's get through this dungeon together, not, hey, come with me over in this corner while we're being swamped by enemies so I can take all the gold for myself kind of thing. I like that, you know, one person, you know, no matter who picks up the gold, it's shared for all 4 parties. I like that factor. I think it puts more focus on, let's be a team, let's kill all these enemies, and like I said, it's not focused on, hey, come over to this corner, oh, what for? Oh, so I can just get all this gold. And it's like, dude, where's the gold for me? I need some of that too. So I like that factor. The enemy types aren't too terrible. Like, they might change upon initial release of the game. They're kind of just standard. They have skeletons, archers, at least from what I can tell. They have skeletons, archers, and they also have wizards, or I guess you'd call them sorcerers or warlocks, whatever. I mean, you know, whatever. The warlocks actually help to power these skeletons up, and they can be a real pain. They're real tough to kill. I hated fighting those guys. But enemies are kind of standard. They're not too bad. You know, they're fairly simple, but as you get deeper, they do get a little tougher to kill, and they do appear in more numbers. And I know there's these big blue knight-looking guys that will pop up on occasion, and they're not too bad. You can kind of time your hits with them, and the same thing with the bosses too. The boss, the mini boss I faced was not too terribly hard. He was actually fairly simple. Once I figured out how to kill him, I mean, he was pretty easy. You know, he was just a big skeleton dude in a big thing of armor. I just basically had him smack into these chandelier crystal things that exploded, and, you know, it was just timing it, making sure you rolled away when he smacked at you. And it really wasn't too fairly hard, but I'm sure as you get further down into the dungeon, they probably get much, much harder. I think I was only able to get down to like level 2 or something like that, or I'm not even really sure. I wasn't paying attention, but I'm sure, like, just in this one dungeon they have unlocked for the beta, it is the enemies up at the top are of course simple, but as you get further and further down, they get harder and harder to fight, and you know, that's understandable. So I like that fact. You know, it starts off a little easy, and then as you get further and further in, you get more enemies, you get harder enemies and stuff like that. So I like that. It adds a bit of a challenge, and then I really like just the overall goofiness of the game. Like I said, it does have that kind of kid style to it, but it's just overall, like, it seems really kind of goofy. You know, all 4 characters are really just kind of, you know, these big rock, you know, goof guys. I don't know even what to really call them, but they're basically like rock and roll fans, and, you know, they're rocking out to whatever they want to rock out to. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting, but I do like this game. It is a lot of fun. From what I've initially played, and when I actually did get into a game with multiplayer, it was actually a lot more fun because there were 4 people. The enemies were a lot easier to deal with. I mean, they weren't easier to fight, but they were easier to deal with in larger groups, because now instead of just one person fighting off, all these bad guys from all 4 sides, you have 4 people helping you fight off all these guys. But there is, as far as I can tell, one really negative thing I have to say about that, and that is, while I was in the multiplayer, one person disconnected. Now, whether he disconnected because of his internet or whether he disconnected just because he got tired of playing with us and he wanted to leave or something, I don't know. But the one big thing I will say I am not a fan of is the fact that when he left or was disconnected, it disconnected everybody, and that wasn't cool. I was not a big fan of that. That actually really, really pissed me off, and because I was sitting here like, well, wait a minute, where's, I was just playing a game. What happened? And it says, hey, bad news, bro, you just got kicked, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And then at the final screen where it shows you your stats and everything of how you did and all that, it showed that the one player had disconnected, and so it disconnected everybody. And I'm not a big fan of that. I thought that was actually really kind of, to be honest, I thought it was kind of dumb. I just don't understand, if one person disconnects, why the entire game disconnects everybody. That makes no sense whatsoever. I feel that, from a standpoint of playing a game like this, it should have just had him disconnect, and it should have had a message on the side or something that said, hey, this guy disconnected, and we'd be like, okay, yeah, whatever, and then the 3 of us run around, and then somebody else could connect, and they'll, just kind of, bloop, they'll just pop up at that moment, or they have to wait till the next level, or something like that. I think it would be easier if they just let them kind of just pop in right at that moment, instead of having to wait a whole level, because, I mean, these levels take about 5, I would say anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, depending on, if you're looking for gold, looking for shards and stuff like that. But yeah, the whole thing with the multiplayer where one person connects, so all get disconnected, that was actually, I did not like that at all. And it actually happened to me again. We were actually just about to start the game, and then right as it was about to start, somebody disconnected, and it disconnected all of us again. It's just really, I don't understand why you would make your matchmaking or your multiplayer co-op in that fashion. It's just really hard for me to understand why, if one person connects, it just disconnects everybody. Like, is it just because the game can't handle one person leaving? It just doesn't make any sense to me. But that's just it's the one gripe I have about it, and I just didn't really like that. I thought that was really kind of just really kind of lame. Just to be honest, I can't really think of another way to put it. But that's a big gripe I have with it. Another thing I have with this game is the fact that there aren't a lot of like pickups. Like, the one thing you mainly pick up is like gold. That seems to be the only thing you can pick up in this game is just gold. And I frankly don't understand why that is. I was expecting to be able to pick up, potions so I could recharge my my super move. I was looking for, like, maybe not like, because they give you health in like pitchers of what looks like ale, but you pick it up and it gives you health, and they're all basically the same size, and they basically give you like a large amount of health. I wouldn't mind like picking up some that gave me like partial health or half health or whatever, but like different like increments of size in health. I just thought that was really weird. It's like the only things you pick up are just gold and health is kind of like not exactly once in a blue moon type thing, but isn't as often or as frequent as the gold pieces are. And the gold pieces, at the end of the level, the gold pieces, all they do is just kind of help you buy like little mini perks that you can pick up to, kind of like strengthen yourself for the next level and stuff like that. Increases your health, and there's one that increases your attack power and stuff like that. But I would think that it would be nice to see them add something where when you are fighting enemies and like say you kill 10 enemies, then like a shard pops out, but it's like a mini power shard where like you have the ability to like throw fire for like 30 seconds, or you have the ability to freeze your enemies for 10 seconds or something like that. I was really surprised I didn't see that, and that's not exactly a thing I didn't like. I was just really surprised. I was actually expecting it in this game because I think that would be really cool to see that. To just see like little like 10-second to 30-second perks, where you can your player basically picks up this little power up for about like 10 seconds, and I think that would really help, especially with like the big swamping moments where the enemies just kind of surround you from all sides. Little tiny perks I think would go a really long way to helping you deal, especially if you're by yourself, helping you deal with the mass amount of enemies that can bombard you at any moment in time. So like, again, it's not a huge gripe. That may get added in, I'm not sure, but it's something I think that would be a nice touch. If I don't see it, that's fine. I feel like that would be kind of just a neat little touch, to have something like that in there. But again, yeah, the multiplayer, that really does irritate me. I cannot understand that to save my life. But I will say this, like overall, if I could see this going for retail, maybe I would say about $20. I can't see it going for more than that. As far as like DLC, there's nothing in there yet. I don't know if they're even gonna add anything in there. That's really just up to them. If they add DLC that you can buy later on or something like that. But overall, I have to give it for a beta test. I'm gonna give this a 7. And like I said, I know it's a beta. I know it's not perfect. I said that at the beginning. I knew from the start this wasn't going to be, the final finished polished product. No game really is, 100% perfect. And I wasn't expecting this one to be, but it is a lot of fun. There are some things missing that would be nice touches if they do add them. Like I said, with like the small, like 10 to 30 second perks that you can pick up in the midst of battle, or even potions to help recharge your supers, which you can buy from a vendor that kind of shows up partway through the levels, I think. I honestly don't know how you do that. He's the only one. There's like this weird merchant guy where you can buy the potions to power up your supers, and that's about it. That's all I've seen so far as allowing, the game allowing you to recharge your super move. But it would be nice if they added like little things of potion where like it charged you up halfway, or big bottles where it charged you up fully and stuff like that. But yeah, the matchmaking actually was a lot of fun. And I definitely recommend that if you get this game, recommend that your friends get it, because it is a lot better with 4 people. For like the minute or two that I played with 4 people, I had a lot of fun, and it was extremely entertaining. And it was just seemed like a lot more fun with more people. And I knew right away too. They had mentioned in the email they had sent me that this was a game that was meant for 4 people. This is a 4-player co-op, and they highly recommend that you play with your friends. So, I definitely do recommend this game. Like I said, I hope there are some things that they add, and if not, that's perfectly fine with me. I have no issues or quarrels with that. But the matchmaking aspect definitely needs to be fixed. That definitely needs to be looked at and kind of, I guess, just redone, because that makes no sense as to why, if there aren't 4 people playing, or if one person gets disconnected, why it would disconnect everybody. I've never seen that in a game before, and that's actually a first for me. But it was extremely frustrating because, you know, we were trying to play, or having a good time, and then all of a sudden, oh, you get kicked because one person disconnected, and I'm like, okay, well, that sucks. Now, if everybody had left, I would understand. If it disconnected, you'd be like, hey, you know, everybody left, do you want to disconnect? And then say, nah, I'll just keep going, and since you're already online, maybe you'll just add other people, or other people can join your game. I can totally see that, but the fact of the matter is, it's super frustrating. 4 people are playing, one person leaves, and everybody gets kicked. That makes no sense to me. So I'm not happy about that. But anyway, I did really enjoy playing this beta. If you watch this video, I'm pretty sure you can get a hold of, or I'm pretty sure you can register yourself to be able to get access to the beta. It's available till the 24th, and I believe it's going to be released next month. I'm not sure what the exact release date is. It just says November 2016. So definitely, if you can, play this beta, try it out with your friends, and you know, try it out for yourself, see what you think. It does, like I said, it seems like a fun dungeon crawler with your friends, and I think it has a lot of potential to do something more, and it just kind of makes it more interesting, makes it more fun and lighthearted, and I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really neat. But anyway, that's all I got. Really, as far as talking about the game, those are just kind of my honest thoughts. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a like. Tell me what you think. If you've played this game, or if you've seen like news about it, or seen videos about it, tell me what you think about it. Or would you want to pick it up? You know, from watching me play, would you want to play this game? And you know, would you want to play it with your friends? Stuff like that. Just, you know, let me know what you guys think, and you know, go from there. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet for more content like this. Hope to see you guys again. God bless you all. I hope to see you around. Y'all stay toasty out there. See you later. You ready?